Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making seafood risotto. To start this dish, we need to heat up 4 cups of vegetable broth, being sure to spill it over the side of your pot, and 2 cups of chicken broth. This is a fun fact. If you ever need a measuring cup, this is actually 4 cups, and this container is 2 cups. We also need the juice of 1 lemon. We're going to dilute down 4 tablespoons of tomato paste in 4 tablespoons of water. Next, we need to mince up 4 cloves of garlic and slice up 5 cloves. We keep those separate. We also need to dice up 1 small shallot and the half of 1 medium white onion. Last but not least, we need a half cup of grated parmesan cheese. Now over medium heat in a large pot, we need to add 1.5 cups of white wine, all of our sliced garlic, and a teaspoon of kosher salt. We're going to bring this up to a simmer. Before adding in 1 pound of either clams or cockles, just be sure to soak these overnight to get out any grit. We're going to put a lid on this and let that steam for 2 minutes. Before adding in 2 pounds of mussels, again, just letting them soak overnight to get out any dirt or sand. Now I like to go in periodically and pull out anything that's open, just so it doesn't overcook, but it should only take about 5 minutes. Now once everything is cooked, we're going to reserve some of our clams for garnish and pull out the meat from the rest. We're going to do the same with the mussels, reserving a couple, but then removing the rest of the meat into a small bowl. Now it's very important to have hot broth for this, so have that simmering in the background. So in a high-walled sauté pan, we're going to add 2 cups of olive oil, all of our onions and shallot, and our minced garlic, and we're going to let this cook for 5 minutes or until it's translucent. Next, we're going to add in 2 cups of arborio rice. Give this a nice stir, and we're going to let this toast for 5 minutes, coating it as much as possible in the olive oil. After 5 minutes, we can add in 1/4 cup of white wine and the juice of our lemon that we juiced earlier. We're going to cook this until all that liquid has absorbed. Now we can add in our diluted tomato paste. This is going to add sweetness and acidity, as well as this gorgeous color. And again, we're going to cook until all the liquid has absorbed into the rice. And now we're going to start adding in our broth, and we're going to only do this a ladleful at a time. Add in the ladleful, then with a wooden spoon, go in and start stirring your rice and shaking your pan until all that broth is absorbed before introducing the next ladleful. We want to build up the starch in this rice. That's what gives risotto that gorgeous consistency that you're used to. And yes, this is precious. You do have to go in and babysit, but it is worth it. An easy way to know that you're ready for your next ladleful is drag your spoon along the bottom. If your rice stays apart, you're ready to add in your next ladleful of broth, and that's going to take about 25 minutes. So after 25 minutes, we're going to add in a pound of shrimp and all of our clam and mussel meat, and we're going to finish cooking the rice with the seafood. We don't want to overcook the shrimp, but there's a lot of stuff going on in here, so this is going to take another 7 minutes to thoroughly cook through, just adding in the last of our broth. We want this rice to be al dente. So after that additional 7 minutes, we're going to add in our Parmesan cheese and give this a really good stir to make sure that's thoroughly mixed throughout. And I know cheese and seafood, not a huge thing, but Parmesan adds this nice sharpness and umami to this dish. Now let's go ahead and taste for seasoning. We've been a little conservative because we're using seafood, which adds salinity. So now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Give this a nice healthy mix, and at this point we should be ready to serve. So in your favorite bowl, just spoon in as much or as little of this as you're craving. We're going to garnish with our clams and mussels in the shell. And finally, we're going to sprinkle with a little chopped parsley, and that is looking gorgeous. Now let's go ahead and give this a taste. The consistency of this is creamy and absolutely delightful. The rice is al dente and cooked perfectly. The shrimp is done to perfection. It's not overcooked. You get the hints of that seafood throughout. The tomato, wine, and lemon have added a brightness and acidity and almost a sweetness to this risotto. And this is absolutely delicious. But there it is, seafood risotto. I really do hope you all try to make this. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to watch my content. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you again, and until next time, happy cooking.